Welcome, Wonder School friends, to week 2 of our virtual vacation. Today is day 5 and we are traveling to the continent of Europe today. And the passport stickers that are for Europe are the countries Greece, Italy, Russia, England, and France. And the stories that we have today are Masha and the Bear, and that's from Russia. We have Madame Martine, and this is for France. The Dress and the Girl, and this is for Greece. We have Olivia Goes to Venice, and that is for Italy. And we also have A Walk in London, and that is for England. And now, I have some questions for you. What would you like to try for our lunch today? We have bangers and mash, moussaka, paella, and we have pizza. I wonder what you're gonna decide. Have you had one of these foods before? Maybe pizza? Do you love it? You know that's my favorite food, but I might be wanting to try something different today. So what animal would you like to see on our travels today through Europe? Would you like to see the brown bear, the gray wolf, the hedgehog, or the rabbit? All right, let's get into our stories. And then after our stories, I want to see if we wanted to eat the same thing and if we wanted to see the same animal. Madame Martine by Sarah S. Brannan. Madame Martine lived alone in a little apartment in Paris. She took the same walk every day. She shopped at the same stores. She wore the same coat. That was how she liked it. Madame Martine lived near the Eiffel Tower, but she had never climbed it. It's a tourist thing, said Madame Martine. Every morning, Madame Martine went to Rue Claire and bought chicken on Monday, scallops on Tuesday, mushrooms on Wednesday, beef on Thursday, and fish on Friday. On Saturdays, she fed the birds. On Sundays, she stayed home. One rainy Saturday, Madame Martine saw a bright pair of eyes twinkling in a bush. The eyes belonged to a very small, very wet, very dirty dog. Madame Martine looked up the street and down the sidewalk. No one seemed to be missing a dog. She reached down and a small tongue licked her hand. It needs me, thought Madame Martine. The dog looked at her and wagged its tail. A dog might be nice, thought Madame Martine. Madame Martine made up her mind. She tucked the dog under her arm and carried it home. She washed it and toweled it dry. She shared her dinner. I think I'll call you Max, said Madame Martine. In the morning, Madame Martine bought a croissant for breakfast. She also bought a collar, a leash, dog food, and a bowl for Max. Madame Martin took Max shopping with her. Two tourists asked Madame Martin the way to the Eiffel Tower, and she pointed up the street. "It's beautiful," they said. "What's it like at the top?" "I don't know," said Madame Martin. The tourists were surprised. "Such a waste of time," said Madame Martin. "Climbing all that way up just to climb down again." The tourists rushed away. Max wagged his tail. One ordinary Saturday, Madame Martin and Max walked under the tower on their way home. A squirrel dashed in front of them. Max leaped after it and jerked his leash out of Madame Martin's hand. "Max!" cried Madame Martin. Max raced up the stairs and under the turnstile. "Stop!" called the guard. "No dogs allowed." "Ma parole!" said Madame Martin. She quickly bought a ticket and went in. Max was bounding up the stairs above her. Madame Martin climbed after him. 1 flight, 2 flights, 3 flights. "Max!" she called. 4 flights, 5 flights, 6 flights. She stopped to catch her breath. Max saw her resting and also stopped to catch his breath. "Allons," muttered Madame Martin, starting up again. Max raced higher. The flight of stairs ended. First level. Madame Martin's knees were shaking. She couldn't see Max anywhere. A few tourists roamed the platform, watching the sun set over Paris. "Memo!" called a small boy. "There's a dog up there." Madame Martin saw Max climbing up to the second level. She groaned and started up after him. So high, so windy. Madame Martin gripped the rail and kept going. As they reached the second level, the elevator to the top of the tower arrived. A few tourists got off. Max got on. Madame Martin ran to the elevator and made it on just as the doors closed. She picked Max up. "Bad dog," she said. Max licked her face. Madame Martin closed her eyes and breathed deeply as the elevator creaked upward. It stopped and the doors opened. Oh, look at this beautiful view. She had never seen this view before. The sun setting on Paris. "Oh," said Madame Martin, "I never knew how beautiful it was." "How did you bring that dog up here?" asked a guard. "Dogs are strictly forbidden." "I didn't bring him up here," said Madame Martin. "He brought me." Madame Martin and Max took the same walk every day. They wore the same coat. They sat in the same cafe. They went to Rue Claire and bought chicken on Monday, scallops on Tuesday, mushrooms on Wednesday, beef on Thursday, and fish on Friday. Every Saturday, they tried something new. Oh, look at what they're doing this Saturday. They're riding on the carousel. That was how they liked it. Olivia Goes to Venice, by Ian Falconer. It was time for spring vacation. Olivia decided that she and her family ought to spend a few days in Venice. There was a lot of packing to be done. "Olivia, you won't be needing your snorkel," said her mother, "or your flippers." "Mother, apparently the city is often underwater and—" "Or your water skis." As they went through the airport, Olivia was searched for weapons. She was very pleased. On the plane, Olivia asked her mother about the food in Venice. "Don't worry, sweetheart. You can get pizza and ice cream everywhere." "Everywhere?" Olivia was relieved. They arrived very late at their hotel. Olivia was so sleepy she didn't even notice the view from her window. Early the next morning they set forth. They crossed a pretty little bridge, and then another, and then another. "Wait!" cried Olivia. "We've been crossing the same canal. I think we're lost. And my blood sugar is getting low." "We'll get some ice cream," promised her mother. "It's called gelato," replied Olivia. They all decided to have a gelato. Crossing a big bridge, Olivia saw the Grand Canal for the first time, lined with its glittering many-colored palazzos. Olivia said to her mother with an edge of hysteria in her voice, "Oh, please! Oh, please, Mother! Can't we live in a palazzo on the Grand Canal?" It was a life-changing experience for Olivia. She needed another gelato. Or maybe 2. Or 3. When she was refreshed, they wandered on. Finally, they passed through a dark archway and into the Piazza San Marco. Olivia was overcome by its beauty. "Mother, I think I could use another." Her mother sighed. "I think we all could." What do you think she wanted? Oops. Olivia wanted to buy corn to feed the pigeons. She held out the corn, but couldn't find many pigeons. But they soon found her. Ah! After that exhausting encounter, Olivia required another gelato. The next day, Olivia begged her parents, "Oh, Mommy, Daddy, please can we take a gondola ride?" "Gondola! Gondola!" Olivia negotiated the price. The gondolier waved them aboard with a gallant, "Prego." Tourists, always too much gelato. Olivia found it very restful. The gondolier did not. They came out onto the Grand Canal and passed under the magnificent Rialto Bridge. Eventually, they emerged out from under the Bridge of Sighs. Olivia sighed. By now, Olivia was completely entranced. "I must have something to remember Venice by. I must find the perfect souvenir." "How about a chandelier?" "Olivia, that's bigger than your room," said her mother. What about a gondola?" Sweetheart, try to find something you can carry. Lace? Very pretty, but not really very Olivia. A mask? No, thought Olivia, I'll only wear it once. Perfume? Olivia doesn't really like perfume. Besides, she's planning her own line. Fussy by Olivia. On their last day in Venice, Olivia and her family went back to San Marco. The basilica was all peach and gold in the late afternoon light. Mother and father were finishing their coffee. Olivia and Ian were playing by the bell tower. Uh-oh, what is she doing? I think she's taking a souvenir, guys. I found it! Cried Olivia. The perfect souvenir! What is that? Asked her mother. One of the actual stones of Venice, said Olivia, from the bell tower. Olivia, said her mother, if everyone took a piece of Venice with them, the city would fall down. Now leave that with the waiter. We've got to get to the airport. Bong, 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 bong. Mommy, are those bells ringing for us? Yes, dear. They're reminding us that we're late. Bong, bong. Oh no, what's happening behind them, guys? Oh my, I think we'd better hurry. Olivia turned to take one last look at Venice. Look, they're waving us goodbye. Do you think they're waving goodbye? I'll always remember Venice, Mommy. Do you think Venice will remember me? Oh man, guys, look at the bell tower. Probably. As soon as she got on the plane, Olivia fell fast asleep and dreamed of a monument to Olivia. A Walk in London by Salvatore Rubino. Hello! There's me, and that's my mom. We just got off the bus in Westminster, in the heart of central London. A tall clock strikes. That's Big Ben, Mom tells me. It's 11 o'clock. Good, we're just in time. In time for what? I want to know. Wait and see, Mom says. This way, through St. James's Park. The park is full of water, and the water's full of birds. So are the benches. Hello, I say. That's a pelican, Mom says. It's very rare to meet one. Here we are, Mom says. We've reached the biggest house I've ever seen. Buckingham Palace is where the royal family lives, Mom tells me. Every day, new sentries come to guard it. And there's a ceremony called the changing of the guard. Behind the fence, a fancy black car is waiting. I think the royal family is going for a drive, I say. After the ceremony, Mom takes me to a special place to stand. Now you're standing at the very center of London, she tells me. And look, Trafalgar Square is just 30 feet away, Mom says, laughing. We cross the traffic and I start to run. There are fountains and some lions I want to sit on. I'm really hungry. Mom takes me to a cafe where you can sit outside to eat. We ask for fish and chips. This is Covent Garden Piazza, Mom says. No cars allowed. Instead, the road is full of acrobats and jugglers. I put some money in the hat of someone standing upside down. Oh dear, it's raining. Some people have umbrellas, but some, like us, forgot. The streets turn shiny. We cross one to a store that sells exactly what we need. We sell umbrellas. It's nice and dry under our new umbrella. I look around as we walk. Careful, there's a dragon, I warn Mom. So far, we've been walking in Westminster, Mom says. But if we step beyond the statue, we'll be in the oldest part of London, the city. The city's full of history. It's full of sunshine, too. The rain has gone away. Next, we reach a huge stone church. We're at St. Paul's Cathedral, Mom tells me. Let's go in. There's a whispering gallery inside. We climb around and around and around until we're in the dome. Mom and I stand in different places. Then she whispers, "Hello?" I jump. It sounds as if she's right beside me. The streets near the cathedral have interesting names. Bread Street, Ironmonger Lane. This one's called Threadneedle Street. There's the Bank of England, Mom says, Britain's oldest bank. Around the corner we find the bank's museum. In the display cases, there's lots of money. Coins, paper money, and even a bar of gold. Oof! I try to lift it, but I'm not strong enough. We're tired now, so we find a bench and sit down near a tall stone column. That's called the monument, Mom says. It was built in memory of the Great Fire of London. See the bowl of copper flames on top? I like history stories, I tell Mom. Then there's one more thing to show you, she says. Wow! A real castle in the middle of the city. Nowadays, kings and queens live at Buckingham Palace, Mom tells me, but long ago they lived here at the Tower of London. We buy tickets and join a guided tour with a soldier called a beefeater. This way, calls our guide, and suddenly it's really dark. We've come inside the jewel house, where the only things that shine are the royal swords and cups and scepters. What makes the crown so sparkly? I whisper. Diamonds, a boy in our group whispers back. Outside the tower, there are boats. Here's London's famous river, Mom says, the Thames. Ferry to Westminster, shouts a boatman on the pier. Let's take it back to where we started, says Mom. And the next thing I know, we're out on the water with the wind. Let's open up these pages and see what's in there. Oh, it's the river. Here we go. This is one part of the river. And now let's go to the other part of the river. Wow. We're back. Back on land, We wait for our bus home. My legs feel wobbly. Big Ben strikes. Big Ben strikes. 6 o'clock, Mom counts. Just in time, I say. For what, Mom asks. To see the royal family, I say, waving at the fancy black car that's going by. The Dress and the Girl. Words by Camille Andros. Pictures by Julie Morstad. Back when time seemed slower and life simpler, there was a dress. A dress much like many others, made for a girl by her mother. The dress loved the girl, and the girl loved the dress. They spent each day together, an ordinary girl wearing an ordinary dress. There she is. Every day, the same story. They rode in a wagon. They sailed in a boat. They went to school, jumped rope, and played tag. But they longed for the extraordinary, something singular, stunning, or sensational. Instead, life continued on in quite an ordinary fashion, picking daffodils, feeling the wind, and staring at the stars. Then, one day, it came time to leave. Their story was changing. They are moving. But still, they rode in a wagon. They sailed in a boat. They went to school, jumped rope, and played tag. Finally, the dress and the girl arrived. Can you guys tell where the ship arrived? It arrived in New York, and that's the Statue of Liberty. They wondered if now was the time for something singular, stunning, or sensational, for something extraordinary. Instead, the dress was folded up and placed into a trunk. The dress waited for the girl to find her. She waited and waited, but the girl never came. So the dress set out to find the girl. Alone, she rode in a wagon. She sailed in a boat. But she did not go to school, jump rope, or play tag. Instead, she traveled the world, searching. Day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. Each day, week, month, and year, telling a different story. While she searched, the dress thought about the girl. Feeling the wind dance with her was singular. Picking daffodils together had been quite stunning. And staring at the stars, sensational. She missed the girl. The dress was tired. She needed to rest. This is a shop and it says Goldie's, new and used. From her spot, her new spot, the dress could see the world all around her. People moved quickly with their heads down, passing by on their way to important or not so important places. One day, a woman walked by. She glanced up at the dress and stopped. She did not move quickly down the street. She looked and looked. In that look, the dress and the girl remembered. What do you think they remembered? Do you think they remembered each other? The girl is all grown up. They remembered riding in wagons. They remembered sailing in boats. They remembered going to school, jumping rope, and playing tag. They remembered daffodils, dancing wind, and starry skies. Every day its own story. They had found each other at last, and that was quite extraordinary. The girl is all grown up, and she's a mom, and she has her own daughter, and she is now giving the dress to her daughter. Animal stories. Masha and the Bear, a story from Russia. Retold by Laurie Dawn, illustrated by Melanie Williamson. Chapter 1. A Basket of Berries. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Masha. She was picking berries in the forest. She stayed on the edge of the forest so she could see her house. From the forest's edge, she could see the red roof on her house. She could still see its white walls and smoking chimney. Masha's parents had told her not to go too far into the trees. Forests are easy to get lost in. Forests are hard to escape from, they warned. Soon Masha had picked all the ripe fruit on the bushes at the edge of the forest. But Masha's basket was not full, and she had lots of brothers and sisters to feed. So she took a few steps farther into the forest to pick more berries. Then she went a little farther. Then she went even farther. Oh no! Now her basket was full. She turned around to go home, but she could not see the red roof or the white walls of her house. She could not smell the sweet wood smoke from the chimney. Masha did not know which way to go. She was lost. Chapter 2, Lost. Masha went left. Then she went right. She looked all around, but she could not see the edge of the forest. She could not see her house. Masha was scared. And she was not alone. Please help me. Something was watching her from behind a tree. It was a big brown bear. The bear stepped out and padded toward Masha. He said in a gruff voice, "Are you lost, little girl?" "Yes, Mr. Bear," replied Masha. "Do you want to go home?" asked the bear. "Yes, please, Mr. Bear." "Then come with me." The big bear led the little girl all along a path in the forest. He led her past a fast river, a deep lake, and a rocky hill. He led her to a cave. Masha said, "But this is a cave. This is not my home." "No," laughed the bear. "This is my home. Ha ha." Chapter 3, The Bear's Cave. It was cold and lonely in the forest, so Masha went into the bear's cave. She shared her basket of berries with the bear. She chatted with him about her lovely home. She told the bear about its red roof and its white walls. She talked about the smell of the sweet wood smoke, and she told him about the tasty pies she baked with fruit. Then she fell asleep. The next morning, Masha said to the bear, "Can you take me home now?" "No," said the bear. "No, I want you to stay here and make my cave as lovely as your home. I want you to sweep the floor for me and light fires for me. I want you to cook pies for me." He stood up and blocked the door of the dusty cave. He crossed his big furry arms over his big furry chest. He stayed there until Masha nodded. She picked up a broom and started to sweep the floor. Masha missed her home. She missed her mother and her father. She missed her sisters and even her brothers. But the bear would not let her go far from the cave, and he would never let her go home. As Masha cleaned and swept and dusted and cooked, she came up with a clever plan. Instead of crying, she smiled at the bear. Instead of nagging to go home, she sang songs as she worked. Instead of moaning, she baked the best cakes and pies ever. So the bear grew very fond of her. One day, Masha waited until the bear had just eaten a big apple tart. He was full and happy. He was rubbing his fat tummy. Then she said, "Dearest bear, can I ask you a favor?" "No," growled the bear. "No, Masha, I won't let you go home." "I know that, dearest bear. I am not asking to go home, but my family doesn't know where I am. I came into the forest to pick berries for them a long time ago, and they must be worried about me. Please, can you take my family a gift from me?" Masha asked. "Then my family will know I am safe and happy here with you." "Next time I bake you a cherry pie," Masha told the bear, "I will also bake 7 little cherry pies. I will bake 4 for my brothers and 3 for my sisters. I would be so happy if you would take the little pies through the forest and leave them at the gate for my family." The bear wanted a happy singing Masha. He wanted her to stay and make his home a cheerful place, so he agreed. Chapter 4, Masha's Plan. The next morning, Masha picked lots of ripe red cherries from the trees outside the cave. She rolled the pastry and baked the pies. She made one enormous pie for the bear. Then she made 7 smaller pies for her brothers and sisters. She chatted to the bear while she baked. "Now, dearest bear, I know you love cherry pies, but these little pies are not for you. They're for my brothers and sisters. So please don't sit down and nibble a cherry pie on the way to my house." "Oh no, Masha, I won't," said the bear. "Do you promise?" asked Masha. "Yes, I promise," agreed the bear. "I do believe you, dearest bear, but I just want to be sure." "When you have gone," Masha said, "I shall climb up to the top of the tallest tree. From up there, I can keep an eye on you. I can make sure that the pies get to my family safely, and I can make sure that you get back home safely too." Masha took the pies out of the oven and gave the big pie to the bear. While he was busy eating, she put 4 of the small pies into the basket around the edge. Then she stepped into the basket herself. She sat down in the middle and lifted the other 3 pies on top of her. 1 pie was on her left shoulder, 1 pie was on her right shoulder, and the last pie was on the top of her head, like a hat. Masha was hidden in the basket under the pies. The bear picked up the basket and began to walk through the forest. When he reached the rocky hill, he stopped. He sat down because the basket was heavy. As he rested his paws, he thought about eating another cherry pie. "They smell so good," he said to himself. "Does Masha really have 7 brothers and sisters? Do they all need a pie?" He put his big furry paw into the basket to pick up a cherry pie. He wanted the cherry pie on the left. Chapter 5, I See You, Bear. As the bear's paw curled around the cherry pie on top of Masha's left shoulder, Masha whispered, "I see you, Bear. I hope you aren't going to eat the pie I baked for my littlest sister." The bear quickly snatched back his paw. He said, "Oh, that little girl has sharp eyes to see me from so far away." He picked up the basket and walked on. When he reached the deep lake, he stopped. He sat down because the basket was heavy. As he rested his paws, he thought again about eating a cherry pie. "They smell so good," he said. "I don't think Masha's brothers and sisters need all these pies. Why can't they share?" He put his big furry paw slowly into the basket to pick up a cherry pie. He wanted the cherry pie on top of Masha's right shoulder. His claws touched the pie crust. Masha whispered, "I see you, Bear. I hope you aren't going to eat the pie I baked for my littlest brother." The bear quickly snatched back his paw. He said, "That little girl has a loud voice to carry all that way." He picked up the basket and walked on. When he reached the bend in the river, he stopped. He sat down because the basket was heavy. As he rested his paws, he thought again about eating another cherry pie. "They smell so good," he said to himself. "Perhaps not all her little brothers and sisters like cherries. I'm sure I can have just one." He put his big furry paw into the basket to pick up a cherry pie. He wanted the cherry pie that wobbled on top of Masha's head. He hooked his claws under the pie dish. Chapter 6, Home Sweet Home. Masha whispered, "I see you, Bear. I hope you aren't going to eat the pie I baked for the new baby." The bear quickly snatched back his paw. He said, "That little girl must be up a very tall tree." The big brown bear picked up the basket and walked on. When he reached the edge of the forest, he stopped. He didn't like the wide open fields or the long roads. He didn't like the neat houses or the busy people. But he was sure Masha was still watching him from the tallest tree. He was sure she was ready to say, "I see you, Bear." So he padded out of the forest. He walked up to the house with the red roof and white walls and the long line of sweet smoke. He put the basket down at the gate. Then he ran back to the forest. When he was gone, Masha climbed out of the basket and skipped into the house. Masha's mother and father got their little girl back, and Masha's brothers and sisters got a cherry pie each. They all smiled and laughed as they ate their pies. And what happened to the big brown bear? He had to learn to do all his own cooking and cleaning. He had to learn how to bake his own cherry pies. Okay, it's now time for our big reveal, and we get to find out whether we wanted to eat the same thing for lunch and if we wanted to see the same animal. So let's go. Today, while traveling through Europe, I wanted to try paella, and the animal that I wanted to see was a hedgehog. Did we guess the same, did you guess the same things as me or want the same things as me? Tomorrow, we are going to be traveling to the continent of Asia. So I hope to see you on day 6 of our virtual vacation tomorrow. Bye!